Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and into fitness. Well, this week, the spotlight shines on Logan High School with two senior student athletes. With me this week, Jack McHugh-sake and Nathaniel Powell. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
One of my favorite artists is a guy by the name of Tim McGraw. And Tim McGraw, one of my favorite songs that he sings is Humble and Kind. And I won't sing it because our viewers might turn the station, but he says, always be humble and kind. Always. And when I think of you two, and know you like I do since you were very young, watch you perform, see you in the halls at Logan, have you in class, he speaks to you, two guys. Always be humble and kind. How did you learn that characteristic, Nathaniel?
I'd say just growing up from my parents. Just do your work in silence and don't expect all the praise and just do it for that. Like, always do it for yourself and just be a good person to others. Because you don't know if someone's having a bad day. Because if someone's having a bad day and you say something mean to them, or you do something and you upset them, like, you want to like help pick people up always.
So, like the Native Americans say, don't criticize others unless you have walked in their moccasins. Humble and kind. Humility, according to a lot of people, coaches and so on, we'll get into that. One of the definitions is giving credit to others instead of yourself. Mm-hmm. Kindness is empathy, thinking about others and what they're going through, like we talked about. Humility, giving credit to others, elevating others. You seem to do that, Jack.
Mm-hmm. I definitely got that from my grandpa. He's taught me like a lot of life lessons. He's just always been that big role model for me, just with anything. Like, in the summer, we'll go on long drives and he'll just talk to me about life for hours.
In fact, in your profile, you talked about him as well as your parents, mm-hmm. that are role models that have inspired you. Your parents also.
Yes. My mom was growing up. When I was growing up, she was single, so she worked really hard with me and my brother. And then my dad came in. He adopted me. So when they got divorced, he still takes care of me. So I really appreciate them a lot, and they've done a lot for me.
Well, you got great parents, mom and dad. Mm-hmm. Certainly, they exemplify the fact of being involved in your life and always supporting you. Mm-hmm. Toughness is a characteristic that Steve Kerr talks a lot about from the Golden State Warriors, and so does Jay Bilas, talking about not so much physical toughness, which a lot of people equate toughness to physicality. No. As much being mentally tough, overcoming obstacles and so on. A few years ago, our viewers may not know this, a few years ago you had a huge obstacle. Mm-hmm. And you have displayed toughness by overcoming an obstacle that your family and your friends and the community just really were taken back by. Share that with us.
Yeah, so it would have been my 5th grade school year, like, kind of like that somewhere between 4th and 5th grade. I was diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer, and at the time there was a lot of unknowns, and just being so young, it was tough to understand what was really going on and like the extent of it. And as I kind of got older and kind of like that journey up until now of just taking it day by day and learning from the things that I go through and just trying to stay positive and just take it one day at a time.
Completely recovered now?
No, I still have like annual kind of like checkups and tests through UW-Madison and like the health system there. But nothing since then has been growing or not necessarily going away, but I take a medication every day to like suppress the disease that is still there.
Do you realize how many people were affected by what we learned with your cancer? Do you realize what kind of a person you are, how well you're respected, how it bothered everybody in your world and beyond?
It definitely took a while to realize how many people it affected, because I just remember I would be at home and my mom would tell me, oh, like, I saw this person today and they wanted me to tell you that, like, they hope that you're doing well, and that they say hi and that they love you and that they're there for you if you need you. And I think as I got older too, just all types of different people that I've met in the community or through sports, or kids that, like, I played against growing up that learned about things like that just from talking social media and friends. It became clear to me that there's a lot of people that were behind me and my family, and that was really great to have, and it's great to think about.
There's a lot of people behind Jack McHugh-sake too, because of what you represent on the floor, on the field. One of the ingredients of a successful student athlete is sportsmanship, meaning that treating others with dignity, embracing losses, but being humble in wins. That's you.
Yeah, especially this year. It's been a little, haven't won as many games as we wanted to, but we still come to practice every day, and I try to be that leader with positivity and just hard work.
As we tape the show here on February 15th, the day after Valentine's, I'm sure you got all kinds of Valentines in the mail and dropped off from girls,
Of course.
throughout Logan. As we tape the show, you had a good and a bad week. You beat Holman, then you lost to Sparta, and now we're on the verge of tomorrow. You will be playing West Salem at West Salem, which we'll be covering here as our game of the week, and that will be a challenge. How do I know that? Well, we have worked a couple of West Salem games, and we know, I mean, they are talented. That is going to be a challenge, Jack.
Yeah, I think we're ready. We're definitely looking for revenge. We had a tough loss to them first game last year, so I think it'll be a good game, a hard-fought game, and it's not going to come easy for either team.
No school today. Now, you're used to that because you haven't had much school since back in March when COVID-19 pandemic hit this nation. So you were stripped away from your spring season. You lost your fall season. You lost the ability to your socialization with friends, peers, the connectivity, and so on. With virtual school, now you're blended in and out and so on. It has not been what you had hoped for, Nathan.
Yeah, it definitely has been tough. I know for me personally and a lot of athletes, just trying to, like, stay in touch with your body and stay in tune with your skills and what obviously we've been working on, whether it's kids in middle school or especially high school too. I know especially with like, aside from the sports and the training, like, even like the recruiting process, like, I know a lot of kids have hopes and dreams to be a college athlete, and not being able to display abilities to colleges and recruiters at the next level has been tough. And obviously outside of sports, just staying in touch with friends via social media and like FaceTime or Zoom or whatever it may be. We've all gone through it. I mean, it's a lot different now than it was a year ago. And I think things will be different, but I think things will be different in a good way.
How has the pandemic, the social justice issues, all the things that have sort of created this country to be in crisis, how has that affected you, Jack?
It's affected me a lot. We've had a lot of conversations, my mom and I, about what's going on and how I need to understand what's going on and what's right and what's wrong. And I think I've learned a lot in the last year that I probably wouldn't have learned about if this didn't happen.
Athletes are always on a platform. Whether you like it or not, there's a saying that goes like this: to much that is given, much is expected. You are on a pedestal. You're on a platform. You're accountable. Young kids in the area, the middle school, the grade school, you know, they're looking up. There's Jack McHugh-sake. There's Nathaniel Powell. You know, I'd like to be like them someday. That's not easy. Some people have a hard time with that. What kind of advice would you give to younger athletes, student athletes, that would like to sort of follow your path someday?
Yeah, I think the best advice I could give is to just never give up and to shoot for the stars, because whether you're the best athlete, maybe you're not the greatest athlete, but you can still be the best you can be. And I think that that aiming high and just working as hard as you can each and every day, every time you step on to the field, into the weight room, into the gym, even in games, I think that boys and girls growing up that have dreams of being athletes in college, I think that just to do it for yourself and don't do it for other people.
To never give up.
To never give up.
Back to Jimmy Valvano, who died of cancer 2 months after he gave that iconic speech at the ESPYs in 2003, where he said, "Never give up," and then cancer took his life. Never give up. Setbacks make you stronger. Is that you?
Yeah.
Advice for young people, Jack?
For me, I would say for student athletes, young people coming up, I'd say work hard when no one else wants to work hard, because that's what's going to separate you from the rest.
When the gym doors are locked and the lights go off and you can't get into the gym, you can't get onto the field, whatever, find another place to work out.
Yeah.
Yep.
While others do things that, yeah, maybe are a little bit more sedentary or whatever you want to call it, athletes pay the price of going the extra mile. Is that you?
Yeah, I've done a lot of working out in my basement this past year.
Oh, you had no choice.
Yeah, I got a ladder to do footwork in my basement, got a bunch of weights. Had to do whatever it took to stay in shape.
Good. Well, on the other side of this break, we're going to talk more with two superior student athletes from Logan right after these messages.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Seven Rivers Sports Spotlight this week on Logan High School. 2 outstanding senior student athletes, Jack McHugh-sake and Nathaniel Powell. Talk to your coach, Sam Zwig, who I know quite well. Here's what he said about Jack. Jack McHugh-sake has been one of the hardest working athletes I've had in 4 years at Logan. His growth as a person and as an athlete is remarkable. He's humble, he's kind. He must like Tim McGraw too. And I'm lucky to have coached him in basketball and football for 4 years.
Yeah, I've had him ever since my freshman year. He was my freshman football coach, so we've got a pretty good bond over the years.
Nathaniel Powell is one of a kind. He has been through so much in his life. First half of the show, we shared that with you. never makes excuses. A fun part of coaching Nathaniel Powell is that he's always eager to learn. He has been a great leader, and he will be missed, just like Jack McHugh-sake. Is that accurate?
Yeah. For the most part.
Hope so.
Hope so.
How is that accurate?
Yeah. Just being hungry to learn every day. On the court, asking questions if you don't know, seeing what you can do better, what you can do different to improve yourself and help the team achieve their goals.
Well, Nathaniel Powell, soccer, football, basketball, track and field, you sort of dip your toe in the water on all those sports. Athlete of the Year in 2017 when you were?
8th grade.
8th grade, when you were at the club?
Yep.
Grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, I should have mentioned that. Student of the Month, Athlete of the Month, oh my goodness. You've accomplished quite a bit. And now the journey continues when you graduate to, I saw this on TV, not on this station, but it will be. And when I reveal to all of you, in case you didn't know, that you have a scholarship to be a student athlete in track and field at Viterbo University.
Yep. I've formed a good relationship with Chase Thompson, who will be my track coach next year. And he's given me the opportunity to run track at the next level and be a competitor there, be a student athlete there. And then just right before Christmas, I received a tuition scholarship through the Boys and Girls Club and Viterbo, kind of a joint scholarship, and I'm incredibly grateful for that.
I'm sure you'll do well. Your gratefulness will be displayed on how well you do in school, which will be, I'm sure, remarkably well. There's no question about it. Well, I just was also saw this news splash. It was not something surprising to me that Jack has a football scholarship at Southwest State, Minnesota State, Marshall, Minnesota, I believe.
Yes, correct. I went to a lot of football camps this summer with my family, and I was there in about July, and about a week later, their offensive coordinator, Coach Hiller, gave me a call and said he was offering me a football scholarship. And then I went to a couple more camps, and then I went on a visit there, my official visit, in September, and it went really well. And then after about a month of thinking and talking to my family, I felt comfortable and thought it was the right fit to commit to further my academics and athletics there.
Good for you, and we're hopeful that that will work out. But just in case it doesn't, there's a place called UW La Crosse. Has a good football program too. That was a secondary thought on your part, right?
Of course, Terry. Of course.
And of course, Terry.
Whatever.
Was there sarcasm with that or what?
A little bit.
Okay, but and so remember, student athlete first in college.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to study.
Of course, I'm going to try to do my best, try to balance my time between academics and athletics.
What may be your major?
Business management.
Okay. So just fast forward to 10 years from now or so, like what's Jack McHugh-sake going to be doing with his college degree and then master's degree and then perhaps a doctorate degree from University of Minnesota Marshall?
Hopefully working for a large company in a bigger city, because they can hook you up with really good connections there. They have a lot of big businesses and growing businesses that can help you get started right away, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Good. So what he's saying is La Crosse isn't big enough, so you want to go to a bigger city. But Nathaniel is going to major in business administration, of course, compete track and field. We'll have him on the show. We'll have both these guys back after their first year at the collegiate level. And then you're going to stay in La Crosse and create a holistic and a wellness business.
Yeah, I think just like the holistic health practices I think are really important, other than just like traditional medicine. I want to have a facility hopefully that will house like programs with like whether it be like cycling, weight room, and just kind of like holistic health practices to help keep people healthy, in shape.
And will you allow seniors like me into your business?
Oh,
too?
for sure, for sure.
Well,
Yep.
good. So, because I'm one of those weekend warriors, you know, that needs some encouragement and some PT once in a while too. So you'll have a physical therapist on staff too, I would hope.
We'll see. We'll see.
Interesting. You have a couple people that inspired you, including, well, your family, obviously, your coaches. But then we've had a young man on the show that has inspired you also.
Yep. So CJ Siegel, he's a junior at North Dakota this year. He plays football. I got to know him pretty well through my older sister Riley, who's also been on the show. And whether it was, so he was a senior when Jack and I were freshmen. So I got to be in the school environment with him and being in some of the same programs as him, such as basketball and track, and just seeing how hard he worked and the time that he put in, whether it was in practice or outside of practice on his own, and just his mentality and his drive for wanting to be the best he can be. Jack,
you've evolved into be the best you can be too, and you've done that in a way that a lot of people might not know, but you have worked hard, and something people don't know about you, you have gained some weight in the last year.
About 30 pounds since fall of last year. During when we had quarantine, we didn't have school, we didn't have class or anything, so I really focused on working out every single day in my house and taking supplements and eating right to help gain weight, because I knew it was going to help my recruiting for the camps that I had set up to go to in the summer.
It also might help your exposure at the beach this summer too. That
yeah.
might be an asset.
I gotta look good out there.
That's not why you were in the weight room.
No,
So
just a bonus.
You know, J.J. Watt is somebody that I followed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he played, well, he's from Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans, and he just, I think, released. But you like what he stands for.
Yeah, I like his quote. He says, "Nobody cares, work harder." So there's never settle for where you are. Just keep pushing. There's the sky's the limit.
What is that? Nobody cares, and nobody cares about your obstacles. Nobody cares about what maybe is your setbacks, but they care about what your journey and what you end up becoming, right?
Yeah, they don't want to hear about what you
excuses.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that. They just want to see the end product.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because all of us have different obstacles in our roadmap through life. Life is not all a four-lane expressway. You have dirt roads, you have obstacles, you have potholes, you have all those things. You've had potholes in your life. And something people don't know about you is you're pretty predictable on what you eat.
Yeah, yeah, I know in senior night, I talked a lot about just kind of like some funny jokes, like foods that I like to eat. I think that eating healthy, obviously, and how Jack gained weight through eating healthy, taking supplements, like your body's a temple and you just got to take care of it.
And Nathaniel Powell's favorite meal is breakfast, and he can eat breakfast 3 times a day, the same thing.
I could. I really could. Not being sarcastic. I could definitely eat.
What's your favorite saying as we close the show?
Just that no obstacle is too big to overcome, and to never let an obstacle overcome you.
Every day is a new day for you to make waves and to make a difference.
Exactly.
Same for Jack, that kind of identifies who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be?
I would say,
when people see you on the court, when people see you on the field, what's the first thing you want them to think of?
That I don't care what other people think. I just want to do the best for myself and for others around me.
So you have my grandchildren watching Jack McHugh-sake play. What do you want them to walk away with a lot of good feelings, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
In the way you treat your teammates, the way you treat coaches, the way you treat officials.
Everyone, treat them with respect, and they'll treat you back with respect.
Nathaniel, you want people to feel the same way, whether you're on the floor or on the bench cheering on your team?
Yeah, I think being a leader and setting a good example for especially younger kids, just leading by example and showing them right from wrong and what it means to be a good person, to be a team player.
Even if you're not on the field or on the floor, you're a reserve, you're still engaged. You're still displaying the fact that it's a gift to be an athlete. You're displaying that.
It truly is.
Both of them are. Well, one of the benefits of being the host of the show is getting to meet and getting to know people like Jack McHugh-sake and Nathaniel Powell, who are my guests this week. So thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 five-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Well, for the second year in a row, Brad Reinhardt's Blue Goals advanced to the sectionals. And the opponent, the Northwestern Tigers from the heart of the North Conference. Rick and I were courtside to bring you the action. The Tigers established their dominance in the first 5 minutes and extended that throughout the first half with a 44-20 lead going into intermission. Aquinas was able to somewhat find their rhythm in the second half, but too little, too late. Chris Wilson led the Blue Goals with 13 points and was chosen as the Blue Gold Player of the Game. Northwestern had 3 players in double figures. Player of the Game, Monty Mayberry with 15, Cole Lottie with 14. Jack Groen came off the bench to score 11. The Tigers would advance to the sectional finals, but lose to St. Croix Central in the championship game. Aquinas ends their season 14-6, with most of their players returning for next season. Final from the D.B. Reinhardt Activity Center on the campus of Aquinas High School. Northwestern 80 and Aquinas 52. Congratulations to 2 area teams making it to the state tournament. The Luther Knights in D4 will play the Prairie School at 9:05 on Friday at the Lacrosse Center. On Saturday, the Division II tournament, the Onalaska Hilltoppers will face Appleton Xavier at 9:05 a.m., also at the Lacrosse Center. Well, it's been a tough week for area sports fans as legendary coach Rick Boyer passed away. Rick was a guest on this show several times. We join the Coulee Region sports world in mourning his passing. Next week, my guests are Holman High School student athletes Sydney Jarr and Haley Velisca. That's it this week. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a healthy and an active week ahead.